Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about the area of composite shapes. So as we have learned, a composite figure is made up of triangles, squares, rectangles, semicircles, and other two-dimensional figures. But to find the area of a composite figure, you must first find the surface area of each individual shape. Let's take a look at some formulas for your notes. To find the area of a square, we are going to use the equation length times width. To find the area of a triangle, we are going to use base times height divided by 2. For the area of a parallelogram, we will use base times height. And to find the area of a circle, we are going to use pi times radius squared. Let's take a look at some examples. Here I want to find the area of the figure. So what I'm going to do is first identify what shapes make up my composite figure. So here I see a rectangle and I also see a triangle. So I'm going to start with my rectangle first. Using the formula area equals length times width, I can substitute for what I know. So here my length is 9 and my width is 7. So I'm going to solve 9 times 7, which is 63. Next, I'm going to take a look at my triangle. I'm using the formula area equals base times height divided by 2. Even though it is not labeled, I know that this shape is a rectangle, so if this length is 9 meters, this length must be 9 meters as well. I can say that 9 times 6 divided by 2 will give me my area. 9 times 6 is 54, and 54 divided by 2 equals 27. The last step that I must do is combine the areas of my two shapes. So 63 plus 27 equals 90 meters squared. Let's try another problem. Here I can identify that my composite shape is made up of a square and 4 semicircles. Since I have 4 semicircles, I know that they are going to come together to make 2 full circles. Let's start with our square. I'm going to use the formula area equals length times width. Looking at what's labeled, I can see that my length and my width are both 2 feet. So 2 times 2 equals 4. Now I'm going to look at my area of a circle. You can see that I've highlighted 2 semicircles because they're going to come together to form one full circle. I'm going to substitute for what I know. So using pi r squared, I'm going to write 3.14 times 1 squared. I got the value 1 because if 2 is my diameter, then half of my diameter must be 1 to represent my radius. Rewriting this as 3.14 times 1 times 1, my area equals 3.14. What's left for me to do is to take my areas and add them all together. I have 4 plus 3.14 plus 3.14 equals 10.28. You might be wondering, why did I write 3.14 twice? Well, that is because we have 2 circles. So in my model, I highlighted all of the parts that we are adding together. Let's do one last example. Here I see that my composite figure is made up of a rectangle a parallelogram, and a triangle. I'm going to start with my rectangle. I'm starting at the top because I know I'm going to show a lot of work. Area equals length times width. Looking at my rectangle, I can substitute for these values. So I'm going to use 8 times 4.5, which is equal to 36. Next, I'm going to look at my parallelogram, and I'm using base times height. Here I see that my base is 8 centimeters, and my height, or how tall my shape is, will be 6.7 centimeters. 8 times 6.7 is equal to 53.6. Now let's try our triangle. So we are using our formula area equals base times height divided by 2. My base is going to be different from the base and the height that we used previously. So looking at my shape, I see that my base is 11.2 and my height is 4.5. So let's go ahead and put that in our problem. 11.2 times 4.5 divided by 2. I'm going to rewrite this. 11.2 times 4.5 is equal to 50.4, and it's going to all be divided by 2. 50.4 divided by 2 is equal to 25.2. So now we have successfully found the area of all 3 shapes. In order to find the area of the shape as a whole, we are going to add these numbers together. 36 plus 53.6 plus 25.2 is equal to 114.8 centimeters squared. I hope that you found this video helpful. Please let me know if you have any further questions.